Hello there. As you may know, I'm free. Uh, as a lot of you guys know, I like to do time trials on Mario Kart Wii. I have started doing time trials sort of seriously back in December. I started doing it back in October. So I've been doing time trials for about 9 months now. Seriously for about 6-7 months now. I have watched both NMeade's and Karhuma's videos on their timesheets, and I wanted to upload my timesheet. I recently started streaming back in February. My Twitch is free_AV, for those of you that want to know. And yeah. So, as you guys may know, Luigi Circuit is the first track in the game. I have a 109866 here. I set this back in, actually about a week ago, June 27th, 2023. Let's give it a watch. So, as I said, I set this back on the 27th of June. This is my first 109 here. I believe I only got one full chain wheelie. If I were to come back to this, I do strongly believe I could get a 109.6 here. This was actually my best pace going into lap 3. I got 0.3 lap 1, and lap 2 and 3 were both 0.2s. As you know, going into the shroom cut, I don't do the wheelie cut. I'm not at that level where it's necessary to do that in order to get an improvement. So, I'm very happy with this time. When I first started getting into the really time trialing, getting a 109 on Luigi Circuit was one of my biggest goals, because as a kid, the world record was 109. And I was even able to get a 110 when I was a kid, so. But obviously, I play with the Wii wheel and stuff like that, like how most of you guys do. But yeah, overall, I am extremely happy with this time. I do plan on coming back to it, maybe at the end of the year. I definitely do want a 109.6 here. So, on to the next track. I have a 116979 on Moo Meadows. I set this back on June 24th, 2023. First 116 here. Let's give this a watch. Alright, so this run, it's not a good run. I'm not that happy with this run. I'm happy that I got 116. I'm not happy with how I got it. So the lap 1 and 3 are below average for me. See, I had to hop right there to get into alignment. I did get the low ramp. I got all 3 laps, but as a lot of you guys may know, at this pace, the mole trail is right in front of the ramp, lap 2. So you have to hop over both of the mole trails, and if you even hit it, even with a pixel or anything, you're not getting that low ramp 9 out of 10 times. So I got lucky with not getting it. And I believe, no, this is not my best lap 2. My best lap 2, I think, is like a 0.42 something. I know it's a 4.2. This lap was going well. Honestly, this could have been a 0.5 lap, but I missed the wheelie right there. I got the low, but I hit the grass patch. My best, if I were to get a good run, I know I could get a 116.5, considering with my best lap 1, 2, and 3 adds up to a 116.3. I do most definitely plan on coming back to this because I do want to get a low 116. I was expecting my first 116 to like be a huge improvement, like a 116.7 or something, but this ended up being it. I'm not happy with this run. I know I can do a lot better at my level, so just have to wait and see what happens. The third track in Mushroom Cub is Mushroom Gorge. My time here is a 1:43.306. Let's give it a watch. For those of you that watch my streams right now, you know that I am trying to get a 142 and I've had a few paces for it. As of recording this video right now, just like half an hour ago, I hit a 0.3 pace. But as you know, the mushroom section can be a little bit tricky with trying to get a line for that, for the wheelie to go straight. I do the hopless gorge cut. For me personally, it's a lot more easier to do the cuts without the hop than to do it with a hop. It's also better in general for runs because you could get that mini turbo out right when the boost ends. I also only went for a single mini turbo right there. Not sure why, I just did, but I ended up getting a 0.5 lap 2. This lap 3 is actually my best lap 3, and actually my first 0.2 lap 3. It was a 0.219. I set this on the 30th of June. So I am currently working on this, so this isn't going to be my PB soon. I'm hoping to get a 142 within hopefully less than a week. I know I could get the 142. Once I get a 142, I'm going to take a break from this track. It is one of my more favorite tracks, but it's also more frustrating for me. Just with all the slip drifts you need to get, and just trying to align with getting the mushroom jumps. Now we come to Toad's Factory. My time here, as you can see, is a 1:51.412. I set this time back in June 9th, 2023. Give it a watch. So I do want to get a 150 here. I don't even have paces for a 150 yet. I do 201 for my mushroom strike here because I'm too slow for 210. I'm going to get hit by the stompers. But even doing 201, as you can see, as you will be seeing soon, I have to hold out my drift in the first turn of lap 3 because I'm getting paces where I'm going to hit the stomper lap 3 going into it. So I'm stuck at that pace where doing like 012 or 102, I'm too slow to PB. But 201, I'm getting pace locked by the stompers now, and 210, I'm pace locked. So Even though it may seem like I'm really close to a 150, it's Toast Factory, so you're not necessarily close to it. But I can most definitely improve this. Yeah, as you can see right here, I ended up holding it out. Pretty unfortunate pace because even though it looks like you're close to getting a 150, you're really not. Because at that 150 pace, you're going to have to spin drift around the stompers. And if you don't do that optimally, oh yeah, and that, don't know how that happened or how I even got a PB. I'm actually pretty curious on what my PB would have been if I don't get that weird low trick right there. So I do plan on getting a 150 here. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. So yeah, that's Toast Factory. Let's get on to Mario Circuit. So here we are, Mario Circuit. My first 122 here, 122.817. I set this time back on. I set this June 25th, 2023. Let's give it a watch. So this run, I was actually stuck at 123.001 because getting that time was actually a 122 fail. My lap 2 was really bad. But as you're going to be seeing, this is actually my best pace, surprisingly. I ended up getting my first 0.4 lap 1, although it was a 0.499 as you see. Yep, right there. I get a drop. I'm not too sure. We'll just see if I end up getting a chain this run. One thing you'll notice about a lot of my runs is that I am not that good at getting chain wheelies because I haven't put enough practice on it yet. That's something I do plan on doing in order to really progress as a player. Yeah, I got full drop right there, full drop again. So this is best pace, so I already knew that I was on a really good pace of getting my first 122. My alignment going into this section was really bad. My alignment going out of the shroom cut was really bad. And I lost some speed right there, so this could have been a 0.7. But overall, I was happy to finally get the 122. I'm very proud this time. My best splits, I believe, give me a 0.4. 122.4. I want to get a 0.6 here someday, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens there. On to the next track, Coconut Mall. So here on Coconut Mall, I have a 158.897. I set this time back in April 29th, 2023. Let's give it a watch. So, this was actually my first 158 here. Also, for those of you that are wondering like how I have pretty decent times for someone that's only been playing since October and really like actually TTing back in late December. If you guys are in the Mario Kart, the time trial community, I've watched my streams. I was going for a top 1,000, getting ranked within the top 1,000, and that took me a month from late December to late January. Would have been faster, but getting a 151 on Toast Factory took me 2 weeks to get. So this lap 1 was actually pretty good. I did not get the insta wheelie out on the banister. On the first banister going into lap 2. I do the NP tricks, not that well. Again, I wouldn't really say I'm an expert. I would say I'm more so like lower intermediate, high beginner player. But I went for 3 zippers right here. Not a great lap. I know I could hit a 0.5 lap 2 here. But as I was saying, I was going for top 1000, got that. Then I was going for top 500 for all the tracks. As of right now, I'm ranked within top 500 for 29 of the 32 tracks. But after I got my 29th one, I didn't really go for the last 3. I do plan on getting it. I just have been wanting to improve my other times. Oh, you'll see this right there. Yep. Not a whole bunch of time loss right there, but that actually would have been a best lap 3 for me if that wouldn't have happened. Because that lap 3 was going really well. That definitely lost at least 0.1. So that would have been a 158.7 if that wouldn't have happened, but unfortunately I did. Unfortunately it did happen, but I'm happy with this time. As a kid, I never thought I would have been able to get a sub 2-minute time, let alone a sub like 2:05. Right? Because I wasn't that good of a player when I was a kid, because honestly, I was a kid back then. So, getting my first 158 here felt really good. So, let's go on to the next track, DK Summit. Alright, DK Summit. I have a 151.817. This track, I could do so much better on. Let's give it a watch. So DK Summit 151.817. I set this time back on May 11th, 2023. I could get a low 151 here, or even a 150 if I really put in the work. For those of you that were watching my streams when I was trying to get top 500 here, this took me the longest to get top 500. It took me a week and a half. So many paces failed. So many. I can't tell you how many paces I have failed getting top 500 here. From getting the wheelie off the first zipper after the cannon, to getting the tricks off the little ramps after the zippers, the moguls, the double. This is a very tech-heavy track. I almost lost the run right there. The double, I don't do the hop because I can't hop, like, time the hop correctly because I let go of the A button. That trick, spoiler alert, I got 3 for 3. That trick is a pain to get out. I cannot tell you how many runs have failed because I missed that trick lap 3. If you are too linear to that zipper, you're not getting that trick. If you just press the wheelie button a little bit too early, you're not getting that trick. So, I took it safe right here. I probably could have gotten that last boost into the zipper, but I was on pace for getting top 500 with so many runs failing. I took it safe and I ended up getting a 0.3 lap 3. I was surprised I was a 0.3 and this ended up being the run, but I was just so happy to get this and be done with this track. I love this track, but it is so infuriating to play. But I do definitely plan on getting a 150 in the future. I'm not sure when I'll actually go for that. But yeah, this track is on a different level of frustration. Wario's Gold Mine. I have a 153.401 here. I set this back on April 16th, 2023. Let's give it a watch. So as you will see, I don't go for turn skip. I don't know how to do a turn skip for either the beginning strat or after the cave section. Now I was going for top 500 here. I noticed that if I get a 0.7 lap 1 or a 0.6 lap 2, or vice versa, I can beat the minecart lap 2. So I ended up being my best lap 1. So I knew I was on a really good pace. But it was just a matter of how well am I going to be able to drive this to really be able to take advantage of being able to get past this minecart coming up right here. Because if you go around this minecart, you lose so much time. Almost got flattened right there. If I would have gotten a better alignment, this would have been a 0.6 lap 2. But ended up being a very low 0.7. I knew no matter what with my driving here. Obviously you can see it's not the greatest. Again, a lot of these tracks I have not devoted like really any time on. I track hop a lot, so that's why I've been able to get these good times. Yeah, so almost got flattened right there. Had to go around the minecart. Missed the low trick right there. So, in all honesty, this possibly could have been a 0.2. Maybe a 0.1, but that's stretching it. But, my goal for this track, I definitely do plan on getting a 152 here without the turn skip. Maybe when I get to mid 152, I'll start doing turn skip. But we'll just have to see what happens. Let's get on to the next track. Daisy Circuit 131.615. I set this back on March 21st, 2023. Give it a watch. So, Daisy Circuit used to be a track that I just hated when I was little. But I do like playing this track now, but I just don't play it much. I've had a lot better paces fail because either I got air going into the stairs and I went over the boost panel. I've had runs failed because I would get that air and I end up getting wheelie locked. So 0.6 lap 1, not too bad. Oh, and right there, you have to let go of your mini turbo and hop again, and then just hope you get over that. You get air over that, because you could either hop into the dirt, or you don't get any air at all, and you end up just going into the dirt. So that ended up not happening. Really glad I didn't get wheelie lock right there. For those of you that don't know what wheelie lock is, you try to go for a drift and you're in the air, you hold the drift button, but you don't turn your analog before you hit the ground. And if you don't get air time or bounce a little bit after you land, it's like you're just trying to turn in a wheelie. And you lose so much time doing that. I've had many runs fail because of it. But I am happy with this run, but I know if I take a few days on here, I can get a 130 here. I don't know exactly what my best splits are, but most definitely I want to get a 130 here. I know I can do that at my level, so yeah, let's get on to the next track, Cooper Cape. Cooper Cape, I have a 2:23.459. I set this time on April 30th, 2023. Give it a watch. So, this track is one of my more favorite ones to play, but again, it's just a track that I don't play much or really give enough time to it. Definitely want to get a 221 here. Sorry for yawning. It's 10:30 and I'm used to waking up really early for work, so this ended up being I believe this is the best lap 1 for me, but laps 2 and 3 are not that good to my standards. I definitely do believe, I definitely do believe I could get a 222 here if I just get a good run. As you saw, I hit the wall before going for that trick so I can get lower air. Not really practical to do, but I don't know how to do a Amanda strat where you hit the wall, but you get sent straight to the ground. Like how World Record does it, I still don't know how to do that. Almost hit the wall right there. But overall, like, this lap was just... I wasn't expecting it to be as bad as it was. It was still a 46, but definitely was expecting better. No, it wasn't even 0.8, it was a 0.9. Got bounced right there. For those of you that have seen World Records, I was like they do the Stroomless cut right into that turn. Not sure how much that actually saves, but obviously it does save time. I just don't know how to do it correctly. I have been thinking about switching up my strategy and just shrooming through that and just getting a drifting trick off of here to get a better time, but I don't know if that'll actually work. As you saw, I had a really bad landing after that trick. So, lots of mistakes here. I can most definitely get 222 if I put in the time for it. I do want 221, and I feel like I'm at that level where I can get that if I were to get this track like 2-3 weeks maybe. But this is most definitely a really fun track to play. Let's get on to Maple Treeway. Maple Treeway, I have a 220.814. So 22814, I set this back on May 15th, 2023. I want 219 here. That's definitely a goal that I have and a goal I know I can reach. I only go for this strat on lap 1. It wasn't even really that good of a lap 1. I believe it was either a 0.6 or a 0.8. I don't think it was a 0.7. And that U-turn, I don't know how to do it like how world record does it and stuff like that. Okay, not world record because they completely skipped that, but like how like NMeade does it, how Luke does it. Okay, so it's a 0.8 lap 1. I have hit 0.6 lap 1s with doing this strategy, just doing a double mini turbo. I don't know what happened there, but that definitely lost some time. So I do it like that because the way the top players do the U-turn, I can't do it that way because I don't understand how to do it the way that they do it. But this is again another track where I strongly believe if I were to give time to it. Okay, so if I don't get that bad alignment after the first branch, and if I were able to insta-wheelie right after the ramp going into lap 3, I strongly believe that would have been a 0.6 or a 0.5 lap 2. So yeah, I take the U-turn very safely. That's really the only way that I know how to do it without losing a bunch of time. I just took this safely. I knew I had the time that I wanted. I knew I was at top 500 pace for this track, so I just took the last section pretty easily, pretty safely. But 219 here is definitely something I can do. Grumble Volcano. I have a 155.866 here. Give it a watch. So I got this time on April 6, 2023. I could definitely cut down a lot more time here. If I were to just actually do the tricks, the low tricks correctly, I can most definitely get it. Getting this mini turbo out is a lot harder for me. Well, at least back then, because I wasn't soft drifting properly. I have gotten better with soft drifting, so I definitely believe I could get that out faster. Not my best lap 1. I think my best lap 1 is a 38.3. I had to realign right there. I want to get a lower time. Obviously, a lot of these times I want to get better at, because the majority of the tracks here I'm ranked between 500 and 400. I'm in that placement for a lot of the tracks. I have a pretty decent amount that are in the 300s and 200s, and I have like 2 or 3 tracks ranked within the hundreds. But this is definitely a track where I feel like I could get a much better time on if I were to learn the low tricks here. I also need to get that better. I was taking the shroom very safely because I don't understand how to approach it correctly, like how the top players do. Because I feel like whenever I try to do it like how they do it, I end up getting caught in the dirt. So I try to go as close to the regular track as I can, just so I don't lose speed. So I would most definitely say this is one of my worst times. Yeah, it's top 500, but I could definitely do a lot more here, possibly a 154, but I'm not too sure. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. Now on to the special cup. Let's get to Dry Ruins. So Dry Ruins, I have a 152.963. I set this time on January 31st, 2023. Give it a watch. So this track, don't get me wrong, I like playing it. Already, I didn't even get the full boost. And this, I didn't even get the wheelie right there. Just so many things going wrong already. Yes, this is ranked in the 700s. This is one of the 3 tracks where I'm not ranked within top 500. One of the 3 tracks. I'm just really bad at playing this track in general. This lap 1 was bad. Really high air right there. Was almost a 39. I could most definitely get a much better time here. If I could just get a run going, I can most definitely get top 500 here. But from doing the Ultra, from getting the wall glitch, like how I did right there, to even just getting onto this part, instead of going for that second ramp, there's just so many things that can go wrong. Didn't even get the wheelie out right there. That was wide. I don't even get that trick. I don't know how this ended up being a 152. In all honesty, this should not have been a 152. I think I missed this. No, I did not, but I didn't even wheelie. Got bounced right there. This run is just bad. There's no other way around it. I know I could get a 151 here. It's just, this track is very infuriating to play with how the terrain is. And even just getting the air for, enough air for the Ultra. So, I don't know if I'll come back to this anytime soon, but if I were, it's definitely on the card to gain top 500 here, so we'll just see what happens. Now off to Moonview Highway. Moonview Highway, I have a 1:45.789. I set this time back on March 13th, 2023. Give it a watch. So, I most definitely want to get a 144 here. You will be seeing that I don't get one chain wheeling. I don't even think I get a half chain. I think all of them were drops. So I'm very surprised at how this run went. full drop right there. I somehow get past the semi. I get the main turbo right here. Now, I do the drift store strut here. I like doing it. It's a lot easier than it seems. That was good, but that lap was bad. I usually get 0.6, 0.5. But I was like, no, whatever, let's keep going. Drop. Drop. Somehow get past that truck. I was holding the drift button, but I did not get the low pocket of air. Got drop right there. Didn't get the side trick. Thank God I got the slip right there. No, for that. Barely get past this. I don't even get the mini turbo right there. Just barely dodge that. And I ended up getting this. I know I could possibly get a 144 here, so yeah. That is Moonview Highway. I do plan on getting a 144 sometime soon, but we'll just have to wait and see when that happens. Sorry that I keep saying that. That's just default. Just wait and see what happens. So. Bowser's Castle. I have a 223.888. I set this time on April 13th, 2023. Let's give it a watch. Bowser's Castle. Didn't even get the full boost right there. I got pretty high air. This run shouldn't have been top 500. I'll say that right now. Lap 1 and 2 were so bad. From just not getting certain slip drifts, from getting bad geysers. Didn't even wheelie instantly right there. Got air right there. Overall, this was just a really bad lap. I think it was a 0.2. I usually get 0.1s or 0.9, 47.9 laps. I don't think I got one low trick on the first ramp. Definitely, I think my best splits give me a 0.3. No, it gives me a 0.1. 0.9, 0.7, 0.5. So I think it gives me a 0.1 or 223.0. I definitely do plan on getting a 222 here sometime soon. I know I can do it at this level. Lap 2 guys are a pain because it's just that giant one right there. Okay, I got decently low right there. I don't even think that was really low. It just had a lot of speed going out of the trick. Bad alignment right there. This lap ended up being a best lap 3. This lap saved it all. This could have been a 0.4, but as you'll be able to see, boom. And I don't even get it like low right there, but it is what it is. I can most definitely get a better time here. Rainbow Road, I have 2:33.923 set on February 1st, 2023. Give this a watch. So this time isn't really that good. Definitely could do a lot better. From only going for Willie Moonjump strat lap 1 to not even going for Shroomless lap 3. I can most definitely get a 2:32 or a 2:31 here. This isn't my best lap 1. I think my best lap 1 is like a 0.5 or a 0.4. I can most definitely get a much better time here. It's just a matter of if I ever do come back to this. Rainbow Road is one of the 3 tracks that I'm not ranked top 500 on, or haven't been ranked top 500. I don't even think I'm ranked top 1000 here anymore. Because when I got this time, I was just like finally top 1000 for every track. Toast Factory, Dry Ruins, and Rainbow Road are the only tracks where I have not been ranked top 500. Out of the 3, Toast Factory is my closest because I'm like ranked like 580 something. So that was pretty wide. That was very wide. So, but again, this was literally my driving a month into really doing time trials. So the fact that I even got a 2:33 when I got it is just, at least to me, impressive. That lost a lot of time. That, honestly... Oh, wow. So from getting a really wide turn after the Shroomless cut to getting that, not even going full speed into lap 3, that could have been a 50 lap 1, lap 2. Again, I was just going for top 1000. I knew I was on a really good pace, so I didn't even go for Shroomless lap 3. I definitely have a lot of work on this track. Almost fall off right there. This definitely really bad driving right here for my standards now. Almost fall off right there. Oh, wow. Yeah. This could most definitely be improved. So I do plan on getting a 2:31 here. It's just a matter of when I actually go for it. So. Alright, we are back. It is the next morning. So now we are going into the retros. This is my Peach Beach time of 1:14.508. I set this back on April 12th, 2023. Let's give this a watch. So this is honestly one of my more favorite Spirit tracks to play. I do want to get a 113 here. I'm actually kind of curious. I don't know if I got any chains in this run. Okay, so I got a drop. I got a half chain right there. Going into that turn, the turn before that, I'm really bad getting the alignment for it. I can never get the proper alignment. I have hit better lap ones. I've hit 0.3s. I do go for the 1-2-0 strat. World record does 1-0-2. It's just that my lap one isn't fast enough to do 1-0-2. As you'll see here, the water is just now going down. So it's pretty up high, but it starts going down. But if you do it on lap 2 and do 0, you have to go out even further. So that's Peach Beach, no glitch. Not a bad run, but I do know I could do a little bit better here. I wasn't paying attention, but I don't think I hit like one full chain this run, so this run can most definitely be improved. So let's get on to Yoshi Falls. So here on Yoshi Falls, I have a 59.964. I set this time on June 27th, 2023. Let's give it a watch. So 59 on Yoshi Falls and a 109 on Luigi Circuit were two of my biggest goals when I started time trialing. Never in a million years did I actually think I would have gotten these two as fast as I did. Considering I haven't even been playing for a year. Because again, I started like really time trialing back in December. I am most definitely proud of this time, but I also know I have a lot to cut down. I was surprised to get that slip right there. You want to get a slip in the waterfall, because if you hop, you're going to lose all that speed and get caught in the waterfall, and you'll end up falling off. I get the bridge stick 2 for 3. That definitely helped a lot when getting this 19-second lap. This isn't my best pace. I have hit a 0.8 lap 1 and 2. I believe my best splits give me a 59.5. But nonetheless, a 59 here is like one of the best achievements you could get in time trials in this game. I'm so happy that I finally got this. I do plan on coming back and lowering this time, but as of right now, it's gonna just stay where it's at. So, yeah. Let's get on to Ghost Valley 2. So, Ghost Valley 2. I have a 53.497 here. I set this time on May 20th, 2023. Let's give it a watch. So this track, when I first got the game back in October, this track was really the only track I would play. I had like a 56 as my first time, and then I went to a 55 pretty easily. I remember going for the 54, it took me a little bit, like, not like a little bit, like maybe like a day. And I started going for 53. 53 took me like 2 weeks, because as you see right here, on this turn, you have to do a chain drift. So I don't know if you see, but I'm pressing the wheelie button and the drift button really fast when I get out of that mini turbo, and it allows you to get a mini turbo out, not faster, but you're not hopping as high. So it's kind of like you're getting it out faster. Getting my first 53 here was a 53.900. I was so happy to get it, and I pushed down a little bit more until I got my 53.635, and that was my PB for a good like 5 months, from December 14th to May 20th. that was my PB because I was happy with that time. And as I kept progressing and progressing and getting better times with all my other tracks, I didn't want the 635 anymore. I knew I was at a level where I could get a better time. So, sat down, took me a few days to PB because I had to de-rust on this track. When I got this PB, I completely skipped 0.5, right? I had a small PB of a 53.625, kept playing, had a best pace of, it was like a 0.95 lap 1, and my lap 2 was a 0.692, my first and only 0.6 lap. So my best splits give me a 53 low 3. So I definitely could take this time down. I do plan on cutting this time even more because I know, again, with my level, I could get to a 0.2 or even a 0.1. I do want a 52 here long term. But we'll just have to wait and see when that happens. So, all right, Mario Raceway. I have a 1:42.847. I set this time on June 19th, 2023. Let's give it a watch. So, I got my first 142 here a few weeks ago, obviously. Definitely, if I do practice this track even more, I can go down to a 141. I get a 142.8, and I only get 1 for 3 slip drifts after the shroom cut. And I don't go for the double pipe strategy. I think I only got maybe 2 chains in this whole run. Obviously, from the recording and everything, you can see I am not the best of chaining wheelies because I haven't really practiced that. But I'm starting to get better at it. I'm not spamming the D-pad. As you can see right there, I didn't get the slip drift, and it just took so much longer to get that mini turbo out. So that was a half chain right there. Got the trick off. And this ended up being a 0.2 lap, and I was not expecting that at all. I thought it was going to be a 0.3. I am very happy with this run, but I know I can most definitely get a 141 here. I know that may be a very huge task, but getting that slip drift and doing the double pipe strategy, you can get a 141. Not easily, obviously, but I think at my skill level, I could possibly get a low 142, high 141. And this is currently my highest ranked track. I'm ranked 179th as of right now, but I definitely do plan on cutting the time down here even more. Alright, let's go on to Sherbetland. So here on Sherbetland, I have a 2:05.939. I set this time back on May 29th, 2023. Let's give it a watch. So, this is another really highly ranked track for me. This can most definitely be improved. As you saw, I didn't even get the full boost. That shroom cut, what you're supposed to get 3 spin drifts. You're supposed to get a spin drift into the alignment or the shroom cut. You're supposed to do a spin drift going into the hop. And then a spin drift over the gap. But I don't do that. I don't spin drift over the gap. So lap 1 was pretty good. It was a, what was it, 0.8? 0.8 lap 1, I think that's what it says. This track is where I started actually timing my chain wheelie instead of just mashing the D-pad for it. And I get a couple chain wheelies, not a lot, but definitely playing this track helped me like really figure out the timing. To go over the gaps, what you want to do when you drift into it, but right before you go over the gap, this is actually my best lap 2. But when you go over the gap, what you have to do is, like, say you're turning left over the gap, you turn left, but right before you get off the gap, you immediately go right, and then you get a little, like, air pocket like that. So the driving here could be a lot better, especially lap 3. Lap 3 was pretty bad for my standards. It was a 42.1 if I remember correctly. I held that mini turbo out because I didn't want to hit the penguin. Most definitely, I do plan on getting a lower 205. I have a lot more in this track that I can do, considering literally 2 weeks before I got this time, I was at a 207.723, and it stayed that was like from November to May. So all that progression that I had from November to May, I knew like I was just so overdue for a huge improvement here. So getting a 205 was a really good feeling. I never thought I would have been able to get a 205, especially with as fast as I got it. So let's get on to Shy Guy Beach. Here on Shy Guy Beach, I have a 123.933. I set this yesterday, actually, July 2nd, 2023. Let's give this a watch. So I will be the first to say this. Obviously, no one else is saying anything because I'm the one recording. I really feel like I could do just so much better on this track. Like getting a mid to low 123. I feel like I should be able to do that at my level. I feel like this is just one of those tracks where I just cannot really get a really good pace in no matter what I do. So, but I was stuck at 124 for a while. I had a 124.071 for a good few months. I've hit 0.7 laps. I've hit like 0.7 lap 1s before. So it's not like I don't have splits for a better time. It's just with how this track is with Magi, at least how I feel, it's I don't really know how to describe it. It feels slow. Obviously, you're going slow most of the time. You're only going like you're going 73 drifting and then 83 in a wheelie in the water. So. World record here uses a spear, but for those of you that have watched the world record time, it's hard trying to drive with the spear on this track. Using the Magic Cruiser just makes it so much easier, but it's just not optimal. So, yeah. Diaz Delfino Square, one of my more favorite retro tracks. I have a 206808 here. I set this time on March 5th, 2023. This is most definitely a track I feel like I can get a huge improvement on. I got a half chain right there. I'm gonna pay attention. I want to see if I even get one full chain. This lap 1 ended up being my best lap 1. You want to get a slip drift off of those stairs. You don't want to hop, like actually get an actual hop. So as I said, this is one of my more favorite tracks. Definitely happy with getting a 206 here, but I want to shoot for a 205. I feel like I could get a 205 or a low 206. So I get a drop. Oh, I get a full chain right there, but I wasn't at full speed, so it didn't really seem like full chain. This lap was very sloppy. I can most definitely get a better lap 2. I have hit 0.3 lap 2, so I believe this ended up being a high 0.7. I also got that little air pocket going off, and then I had the bad landing. Just a lot of things go wrong right there. Yeah, 737, not a great lap. I had to do a wheelie nudge, so I lost speed right there. But this lap was actually, lap 1 and 3 ended up being best splits for me. I was surprised that this ended up being a best split, but it is what it is. I definitely have a lot more to cut down here, so definitely excited to start playing this track and get a better improvement. You have to go for the chain drift right here. Thank God I got it. Insta wheelie and boom. 206 right there. So Waluigi Stadium, I have a 1:53.591 here. I set this time on April 23rd, 2023. Let's give it a watch. So Waluigi Stadium is, for those of you that play the game, know that this track is extremely tech heavy. This actually ended up being a best pace. Very surprised because lap 2 was really good. Not my best lap 2, but definitely I could go for a 152 here. As you just saw, I started doing wheelies off of the zipper. Not too hard to do, but if you just mistime the hop even slightly, you're not going to be able to realign to get that next wheelie. It'll just shoot you straight down, so you want to be careful with that. You want to hit this wall right here, because if you just go for a regular tread, you're losing time. So I was very surprised to see how well this lap was driven, because I felt like it was not a well-driven lap. I don't even get the low air right there. I don't getting really high ones, and I couldn't even get my wheelie out immediately. So that, obviously you saw that ended up being a 0.5 lap 2. So this was best pace. I knew I was on pace to get top 500, so when I went for the zipper, I just hopped. I didn't do a wheelie. I wanted to be safe. I knew that if I just drove this lap decently. I was going to get the time that I wanted. This ended up being a 37.8 lap, so sort of got low air. I could get lower, so definitely going to shoot for a 152 sometime in the future. Let's head off to Desert Hills. DS Desert Hills, I have a 136.888 here. I got this time on... When did I get this time? I got this time on June 11th, 2023. Let's give it a watch. So, this ended up being my first 136 here. I was really happy about it because I was at a 139 and then I skipped to a 137. I just let it sit there for a bit because it was top 500. The top 500, the 500th ranked time is not that great here. I only got a single trick right there, but I don't know how to do a lucky cut here. For those that don't know, a lucky cut right there is you wheelie off of the first hill and you stay in a wheelie after going off that second hill. Either you don't hit the ground hard, the hill hard enough to where your wheelie collapses, or you re-wheelie right when you hit the hill. I don't know how to do that properly, so lap 1 wasn't that great, nor was lap 2. That wasn't a wheelie cut. When you do a wheelie cut, you are literally going 90 plus through the air. It takes a lot of time. So a low 0.4, low 0.3 lap. I wasn't too confident on getting the 136 here. I don't know what did it. If anyone could tell me in the comments on how in the world was my lap 3 at 32.1 lap. The ending wasn't even great or anything, so I don't know how this ended up being a 0.1 lap. But it is what it is. I was really happy to get this time. I want to get a lower 136 or even a 135 here. I have hit 32.0 lap 1, so 0.0 lap 1, 0.2 lap 2, and 0.1 lap 3. So my best splits do give me like a 0.3, 0.4 136, so I can most definitely improve this time pretty easily. So let's get off to Jungle Parkway. So I was actually wrong. It's Bounce Castle 3 next. I have a 2:18.830. I set this time on July 1st, 2023, so just a few days ago. Let's give it a watch. So, funny thing about this is that before I got this PB, I have a 2:19.760. So I jumped 0.930 improvement in one run. I could most definitely get a 217 here. I get the low 4 out of 5 times lap 1, and I have to realign for this turn, so I hit the dirt. This lap was not good. I'll be the first to admit that. I don't think I got a full chain going for this straightaway. Let's see. Okay, I got a half chain and a drop chain, and it still ended up being a 0.4 lap. I was very shocked at that. So coming into lap 2, I end up getting all 5 lows this lap. As you saw, I almost got hit by the fireball right there. Got the change up right there, and this straightaway, I thought I got a full chain for both the wheelies. No, I ended up getting a half chain for both of them. And this ended up being a 0.0 lap. So I can most definitely get like a 45.9 or a 0.8 lap here. So I can most definitely get a much lower time. I was really nervous going into this because I've had many 218 fails with just hopping and going straight into the lava. Took that safely because I didn't want to hit the wall. This ended up being a 0.3 lap. The alignment there was bad. I hit the dirt a little bit. Drop. And a drop. That still ended up being a 0.3 lap 3. So I definitely have a lot to cut down on this track with lap 1 not getting 5 for 5 lows. And need to realign before the turn into the ramp. So I definitely have a lot more to cut down here, but almost cutting down my time by a full second in one run at any level is actually pretty impressive to me. So alright, so DK's Jungle Parkway. I have a 2:15.882 here. I set this time on June 12th, 2023. I feel like I set this a lot, like a week or two ago, but no, it's been almost a month already since I've gotten this time. So, let's give it a watch. So this time, I ended up, obviously, as I said, I got this a few weeks ago, almost a month ago. I can most definitely improve here. I have hit 0.1 lap 1s, but my driving here isn't that great. I don't take the turns as sharply as most people do. And the shroom cut, I take it a little bit late so I don't go off flying. Like that right here, well, at that turn right there, most people will get up on that little hill so that you take it tighter. I don't do that because I didn't realize that's how people did it. I also don't wheelie right here. I almost hit the fence right there, so it ended up being a 0.2 lap 3. I don't end up staying on the little slope right there. You want to stay on that slope because obviously you're closer to the edge going in down that section. So you're actually cutting off time with doing that. I do go for that little corner cut right there. I do it because I just find it fun. In all honesty, I just find it fun. It saves time. I like doing it. I don't like going around that corner, so going in for the second one. Not great, but could be better. 0.2 lap 2. I have multiple 2:15 fails going into lap 3 with just lap 3 being driven poorly. This lap 3 wasn't driven that great either. It ended up being a 0.4 lap 3, but all in all, I was happy to get to 2:15. I was at 2:19, and then I skipped to 2:17. Got down to 2:16 with my best splits giving me a mid 2:15. So, definitely in the long run, I want to get a 2:14 here. I feel like I can most definitely get that if I just improve my driving here. So, now we're going to go on to my favorite retro track to play, GCN Mario Circuit. So let's go do that. So GCA Mario Circuit. I have a 132.635 here. I got this time on May 6th, 2023. So I've had this time for 2 months already, just about 2 months. Let's give it a watch. I would most definitely say I could definitely cut down a lot more here. None of these 3 laps are my best laps. Actually, these laps are actually pretty poor for my standards. I have hit a low 0.7 lap 1. I've hit a low 0.6 lap 2. And a low 0.7 lap 3. So that being said, my best splits do give me a 132.1. So I definitely have a lot more to cut down here. What you want to do for that double trick is that when you go off for the first one, you want to be holding your analog down. But with you hopping, if you even just slightly go to the left or the right, the camera angle is going to take it as you're trying to do a drift, and it'll get you out of alignment. So that's something I definitely do need to work on, but I don't do it in this run. That was really high. If I don't get that, I am confident that would have been a 0.7 lap 2. This shroom cut lost time. Yes, it's a shroom cut and everything, but you don't want to stick to the grass exiting it. Got a chain right there. You don't want to stick to the grass. You stick to the grass, you lose 0.1 there. So when you're exiting, you want to get a little bit of air. I purposefully did that. What I do lap 3 is that I just try to get a single trick, because I feel like if I would have gone for the double trick, it wouldn't have PB'd unless I got a really good one like how World Record does. I definitely do have a lot more to cut down here. Again, this is my favorite retro track to time trial. I just haven't time trialed it in a bit. I think on this track I could definitely get a 0.4 or 0.3, considering my best splits give me a 0.1. So yeah, let's head off to Mario Circuit 3 in the Lightning Cup, last cup, let's go. So here on Mario Circuit 3, I have a 1:18.919. I set this time on May 25th, 2023. Give it a watch. For those of you that have watched my videos on my YouTube, you'll see that my PB on the video that I uploaded, I had a 1:19.210. I wanted to get a 1:18 here, so I ended up getting it. Definitely. I could definitely cut this down to a 0.7. This was my first 1:18, and I got it by a pretty decent chunk. So, one thing I learned about the shroom cut is that you want to use your shroom just a little bit earlier than you would expect, because you want to insta-wheelie right out of that mini turbo right after you get out of the dirt, because you get that perfect alignment right there, yup, just right there. That was like a perfect shroom cut for my standards. That could have been taken more tighter, but this actually ended up being a best lap 2. I knew I was on pace for a 1:18, so I just drove the lap as best as I could. I don't go for the triple mini turbo strat on that, where I did 2 mini turbos, a mini turbo wheelie, then a mini turbo. I'm not at that level yet. I definitely have more to cut down, so yeah. I do want to get a lower 1:18, as I said. I want to get like a 0.7. At most a 0.6 or a 0.5, but I don't think I'd really be able to cut it down more than that unless I go for the triple mini turbo strat. So, yeah. Let's go down to Peach Gardens. So, DS Peach Gardens, I have a 202060. Give it a watch. I set this time on my computer is being stupid. It's not. So come on. Okay, I set this time on March 20th, so I am definitely overdue for an improvement here. So this run, I'm pace locked in lap 3 with where the chain chomp is. You'll see in a bit. This lap 1 was actually really bad for my standards. It ended up being a 0.7 lap 1, but my lap 3, not lap 3, my lap 2 ended up being really good. So most people like to hop over the flower bed. I don't really necessarily know how to get the alignment for that. So as you just saw, I like to go for I'll let go of my mini turbo, I'll do a slip drift to get where I want to be. So yeah, pretty bad lap 1. Got a full drop. I didn't even get the mini turbo out before I get off the stairs. So just pretty bad lap. My best pace was a 0.5 lap 1 and 2, but where the chain chomp is on lap 3, my lap 3 is also really bad. I ended up being, I believe, a 0.9 lap 3. So I definitely have time to cut down here. I can most definitely get a 201 here, and I really want to. That is definitely, yep, 0.3 lap. I was very surprised to see that. So you'll see where the chain chomp is. I hold out my mini turbo to make sure that I get a good alignment. Yep. Right where it's at. If I would have insta wheelied right out of that mini turbo, I would have gone straight into that chain chomp. So that loses a lot of time. Definitely am overdue for an improvement. I can most definitely get a 201 here. I do want a 2 minute here, but we'll just have to see what happens when that happens. So yeah. I said when. Yeah. All right, off to DK Mountain. GCN DK Mountain. I have a 209249 here. I set this on March 12th, 2023. Give it a watch. So DK Mountain, I want a 208 here. You'll see on lap 3. So my lap 3 ended up being a 43.0 lap. You'll see what happens. It could have been a 42 lap. You'll see what happens on lap 3. But definitely I have hit paces where I could have gotten a 208 here. I went from a 210.033 to the 209.249. Missed the mini turbo right there. Not optimal to go for a mini turbo, but at this level, it doesn't really matter. So this ended up being a pretty weak lap 1. I have hit 42 lap 1s. So seeing that lap 1, I didn't think I was on pace to really get the 10 down 1, but I'm like, you know what? Let's just see how well I drive this lap. Got really high air right there. You don't want to get high air right there. going all over the place over here. I get the mini turbo out just for a little bit extra speed. .8, so I'm like, alright, let's keep doing this run. Let's keep going. What I like to do, oh, as you saw right there, I didn't even get the mini turbo out. I only got one mini turbo right there, and this still ended up being a 43.0 lap. Don't know how, just ended up being it. Got a pretty bad alignment, so did I get a mini turbo right here? Yeah, I did. Oh, what I like to do on the bridge is that right when I get on the bridge, I hold down on my analog, and I tend to get sticks very easily doing that, so. That's DK Mountain. I am also overdue for an improvement here. I would need to de-rust on this track, but I could definitely get a 208. Maybe go for a 207, who knows? I feel like I could get a 207 if I really put the work in, so. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. Now off to the last track of the Lightning Cup and the last of the retros. So, N64 Bounces Castle. I have a 2:33.379 here. I set this time back on March 28th, 2023. Let's give it a watch. So, funny thing about this time is that when I was going for top 500 here, I needed to get a 2:33.9, and my time was a 2:34.7. 8-3, I believe. So this run already started off pretty poorly. I didn't even get the full startup boost. But other than that, this lap was actually driven pretty well. I took the corners as tight as I could. I got this sort of like mini hop right there where you don't get a lot of air right there, so. That is the best of my shroom cut on this run. Got the double mini turbo. Oh yeah, and this, I ended up bouncing right there. Didn't get the insta wheelie. So this was actually on pace for a 50 lap one. But 0.59, pretty good. I bounced on the bridge, so I didn't get the chain right there. Unfortunately. But I was still on a pretty good pace. I've struggled to get a good lap 2 in before. This ended up being my best pace and my best lap 2 and 3. I did that a little bit too early, but it's whatever. Still got an improvement. Went for the railing, boom, good landing, hop, wheelie, so I don't have to chain. And I ended up getting a 51.060 lap. Oh my god. I paused the game just to calm myself down because I'm like, I need to get this run. Like right here, right now. I didn't even know where any of the thwomps were going to be at because I've never hit a pace this fast. Messed up here though. I end up getting a really bad Superman. Almost got hit by the grass right there. And I was just praying. So at this pace, you're pace locked by the fire, by the lava pillar. Barely dodged that. Bad landing. Get the trick off of here. And oh my god. When I got that when I drifted off of the railing right there, oh my god, didn't bounce, didn't hit the wall. It was like bam, bam. Got the main turbo out. Got this time. Literally improved this time by 1.5 seconds in one run. Could most definitely improve. I can most definitely get a 2:32 here. My splits don't give it to me because my best lap 1 is a 50.9. And then it was my best lap 2 and 3. So my best splits to this run is, it's not even a 100 millisecond difference. That's how well this was driven for my standard at the time. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching my timesheet. Obviously, it's not going to be as good as NMeade's or Karhuma's because they are a much more advanced player compared to how I play. I do hope to get to their level at some point, but as of right now, I'm stuck at that intermediate level. But we'll just have to see what happens. I do plan on doing an update at the end of this year. So around like January, maybe late December, be looking out. If you could give this video a like and subscribe to the channel, that'd be much appreciative. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you guys for watching. And yeah, signing off.